Greetings friends, it's me, Wiman29, and this is a video going out to brain sores, hopefully I pronounced that right, on the topic of Isaiah 40:22 and if the word horizon can be used. So what I want to do, I really love biblical literature, and I love questions like this, and I thought I could just type it in the comment section, but it ends up being a big deal. And I got into this huge research project, and so I'm just going to go over and tell you a little bit about what I found. So, pardon me while I switch over to a partial desktop so you can all see what I'm doing here. Desktop, partial desktop. And we'll go down to the eSword Bible program. Here I have the new Jewish Publication Society Tanakh, a 1985 version. And here we're going to read it from this because this is a paraphrased Hebrew version, which is pretty good at explaining it. And we'll read the text here. Then we'll go to the Hebrew and see what it can say. Verse 40:22. It is he who is enthroned above the vault of the earth, so that its inhabitants seem as grasshoppers, who spread out the skies like gauze, stretched them out like a tent to dwell in. So what's interesting is here, when we go to the Hebrew, here we have Hayeshev el Khoog. This is the word we're looking for right here. Hayeshev el Khoog ha'eretz. So let's go to the Strong's number for Khoog, because I think this word would be, we'll take a look at this. 22. The Strong's number H2329. So we'll go up here to our dictionary. We'll go to the Strong's. It's a circle, circle, circuit, compassive. There's also another definition here, 2328, which is another variant. It's to describe a circle. Khoog. So it's the same word. So you can see the issues that some translators have. We'll go to the Ancient Hebrew Library, lexicon of the Bible. Here are the different forms of this word. Feast, circle, terror. Pictograph is a wall representing outside. The foot is a picture of a foot representing a gathering. So this is an interesting text because here, depending on how this is translated, harkens back to possibly another piece of literature that was written around this same time period. Isaiah 40:22, chapter 40 starts the Deutero-Isaiah, which is second Isaiah. So if you get a chance to read chapters 34-35 would also be included in with this, because some scholars believe that the word usage in Isaiah chapter 34-35 matches the word usage in the Deutero-Isaiah starting in chapter 40 to 56. From 56 to 66, some believe that it could be another writer, even a third writer of Isaiah. So it's pretty interesting. And previously, where we leave off in Isaiah is Isaiah is granted 15 more years on his life in chapter 38. 39 representatives from the Babylonian Empire come over. Isaiah shows them everything, and Hezekiah is really upset. Hezekiah shows the Babylonians messengers everything, and Isaiah is really upset about that. And Isaiah says, "What are you doing? You're going to bring trouble," and because they know we got all this stuff. And so 40 is the first text, and it's beautiful. It's even an answer to the text of Job, and there's a lot of relation to if the divine is just or unjust, if he's committing just acts or unjust acts, if he cares even. And this is an answer to that in chapter 40, and it's very beautiful. There's also a lot of misunderstanding of the Jewish cosmology. Let me come back up on camera here. And a lot of this deals with Genesis, especially chapter 1. And I have here, if you can pick this up, it's Noel Friedman's, it's out in paperback now. Elliot Friedman's commentary on the Torah. And here he gives a picture, an illustration of what that may have looked like. So there you have the space. Above the space, this is called the Shemayim, the space. The waters above and the waters below, the Mayim, and the dry land, Ha'aretz, the land. And the circumference, or the rakia, would be the firmament. So we're going to take a look at that, because this vault, or this circle, pertains to this. And then we're going to go and look and see how other translations picture this. Also, this makes a lot of sense. This cosmology model makes a lot of sense. It comes from the ideas of Genesis chapter 1. In the Noah story, in the flood. And here's another illustration on how that flood, when the doors of the gates of the heavens are opened, and of the earth, water is allowed to come down, and water is allowed to come up, thus flooding. So here's the cosmological idea of how they viewed the earth at that time period. So it's pretty amazing. Get back on camera here, but so I'm gonna click back down here. It's back to partial, and we'll go and look at some things out of Genesis. So there we go. So go back to the Bible here. Go to Genesis. Let's see if I can find Genesis 1. And so you can see this the separation of the waters, which is beautiful. And I'll give you a better picture of what they're talking about in Isaiah. God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. So here the divine is separating things. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and there was an evening, and there was a morning, the first day. God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the water, that it may separate water from water." God made the expanse, and it separated the water which was below the expanse from the water which was above the expanse, and it was so. God called the expanse sky, and there was evening and there was morning, a second day. So we'll look at verse 8 out of the Hebrew. Here's the Shemayim, right here. Vakara Elohim La Shemayim. So this is the expanse. So we'll go and check out the expanse here. Or the firmament. This was seen as a hammer or a sheet of pounding of metal or gold with a hammer to flatten it out, to beat with a hammer to flatten out, to spread, to stamp, to stretch. So some seen this as a cloud. Some seen this as a thin sheet of hammered out metal. And when you look up this usage, you can see here where it's used. It's used 5 times in Genesis 1:6-8. The firmament, the rakia, 1 14 to 15 Genesis. Now here what's interesting is in Ezekiel. Let me go back to my so we can look at this better here. In Ezekiel, this is also used for what is above the angels, the creatures' heads in a divine realm. So this is the thing. When you go back to word roots, ideas of roots change. So whenever you hear, oh, the root of this means this, it could possibly be important, but the idea of the word changes, and so sometimes the root word of things ends up not being accurate context for what the text is trying to convey. So here, if you take a look at these texts in Ezekiel, and see how the rakia is used in this context, it's much different than what is used in other areas of older texts of the Bible. So there you have it. Hopefully that was helpful, and just a little overview on Isaiah 40:22. So take care, friends, and remember, if everyone's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking. And if you know anybody that likes studying biblical literature or anything, or if you have any questions or know of anybody that has any questions, please feel free to send them in, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if not, I'll just make up some answers like everybody else does. So take care, friends,